Welcome to North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol. I'm your host, Dan Hammer. On tonight's show, we'll recap North Dakota's top 5 showdown series with Providence, a weekend that saw North Dakota defeat Providence 6-1 on Friday, and the two teams skate to a 2-2 overtime tie on Saturday. Coach, good to be back with you again. Overall, you must be pleased with the weekend as a whole.
Well, I thought, to sum it up, it was, number one, it was a good series win for us against a good hockey team. I thought we performed pretty well in a lot of areas, and just overall as a team, we're well prepared as a group coming out of that locker room. The guys did a real good job there, and overall improved our play.
How happy were you with the contributions from up and down the lineup throughout the weekend?
Well, that's something that's real important for our team. And you look at Friday night, we were able to get out to a lead and then build that lead through the second period and close it out pretty well in the third period. We knew Saturday would be tougher, yet I liked the way we started, and I liked our second and third periods as we went through that game as well.
All right, Dave, when we come back, we'll take a look at Friday night's highlights as North Dakota and Providence enter the weekend as two of the top 5 ranked teams in the nation.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sous Shop at Ralph Engelstad Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Indian Triumph of Fargo, and by Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables too.
North Dakota and Providence, Friday night, Dave, in front of another sold-out Ralph Engelstad Arena. Let's take a look at the highlights. And this series, leading up to it, a lot of the hype surrounded the goaltending matchup between Zane McIntyre and John Gillies.
Wow, what a great matchup it was. Those two guys are outstanding goaltenders. They're both guys that probably have some good pro careers ahead of them, but just a great matchup this weekend.
Yeah, and McIntyre sees some early action in front of him, and it's strong to begin the game here.
A great save on the first shot, staying with it, and then staying strong for the rebound down low.
Just under 7 minutes into the hockey game, you go on the power play, and you're going to score here, and all starts with Luke Johnson and a speed play here on the far wall.
Yeah, this was something we saw that we might be able to gain outside entry, and from there it's good speed. Luke keeps his feet moving, and just a great shot off that far post.
Talk about what you did see, because you created some plays right there at the entry point on Friday night.
Yeah, you'll see an adjustment that Providence makes later in this series and closes off that outside lane, but they initially we're staying to the inside, giving up that outside lane, and we wanted to try to attack that with speed.
Luke Johnson's first goal of the year. What impact did the 9 combined penalties have in the first period on Friday night, Dave?
Well, I think what you see is the effect late in the series, and I think you saw a little bit of heavy legs in both teams on Saturday night, but no question we felt like we had some heavy legs at different times in the hockey game on Saturday night.
So they played a factor a bit later in the series. It's 1-0 after 1 on Friday night, and your second period would be sparked by the penalty kill, which was outstanding. You had a lot of pressure up ice, and you really made Providence work to even get into the offensive zone.
Well, and that's one of the keys. If you can get up ice, if you can do a good job holding your line, if you can create turnovers and make that power play skate 200 feet to go get the puck, it's a huge benefit to the penalty kill.
Yeah, Bryn Chiswick forcing not 1, not 2, but 4 Providence players to enter the play here.
Yeah, Bryn had a real good weekend. Again, some of that will that it takes to be a good penalty killer. You see him hustling to the bench right there, coming off of a short shift. That's penalty killing, and that's what's made us successful early in the season on the PK.
Well, you feed off the PK and what it did, because 25 seconds after killing off a Friars power play, you're going to apply the pressure, and it's going to result in a goal that makes it 2-0 here.
Yeah, again, just a play that we stayed with. Nothing fancy there. Just getting a puck to the net, getting a second one, to the net with some good recoveries. Throw a third one there, a fourth one, and a real skill play by Michael Parks. If you see the 2 touches that he has on that puck, he doesn't just drill the rebound, back into the goaltender. He sets it just for a second right here, and then puts it top shelf. Very good skill play by Mike.
And Parks gets his first of the year, so it's 2-0 at this point. You have all the momentum going. The building is jumping. Your team is playing with confidence. Zane McIntyre, good as well. He stopped all 16 shots that he faced in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, he did a real good job. A little turnover there under pressure for our defenseman, but Zane is there to, again, make a real good save on that play. The building was rocking, that gives such a boost to the bench and a little shot of energy. Great play right there that you saw by Nick Schmaltz with that backhand play up ice. It's not an easy play, and we end up staying with it and scoring a big goal off.
Paul Ledoux gets the goal here, and a lot of havoc in front of John Gillies on this play in a lot of instances on Friday night.
Yeah, and I was asked, how did we get to him? And I said, I don't know if we did get to him necessarily. I thought he played very, very well. We just stayed with a lot of plays. We had traffic. We had second and third shots. That's what you have to do against a great goaltender.
That was Paul Ledoux's third of the year, one of the nation's leading defensemen scoring-wise here early in the season. The power play accounted for 2 goals in this hockey game. You're going to get another one here to make it 4-0.
Well, again, you got to have your specialty teams going well, and that's just a hockey play right there by Tucker Poolman, and what a release into the top shelf.
Yeah, that was, as we take another look, great play by Poolman. He was really good on the power play back in junior hockey as well.
Yeah, he has just such good natural instincts there. He's got an attack mode to him, a nice calm presence with it, and then, to be able to finish a play like that right there, I don't care who's in goal, nobody's stopping that one.
7 points from your defenseman on Friday night. You're in total command of this hockey game after 2 periods leading 4-0. You chase John Gillies. He did not return for the third period. Enter Mark Ellis. And here's another one of those plays at the blue line entry point that's going to result in a goal, as Troy Stetcher is going to win the entry point here.
Yeah, well, what do we talk about? We talk about so many puck battles, right? Everything's a 50-50 puck battle to start with, and Troy is one of the guys that's real good at winning those battles. He creates the loose puck at the offensive blue line and makes a nice little chip to the middle play that ends up creating this opportunity.
And look at the guys crashing the net here on this play as Stetcher carries in.
Yeah, you got 2 guys going. Simonson gets a tip on it. Chiz is right there, and I think we've got a third player coming in behind as well.
St. Clair was also trailing on the play. Chiswick's first of the year gets rewarded for what was an outstanding night. It's 5-0. You killed off 4 more Providence power plays in the third period, and you get a shorty from a guy really wanting a goal, and he got it here, Drake Kajula.
Yeah, and he created that with some speed. He took advantage of the loose bouncing puck there and made no mistake putting it in the top corner. 4th shorthanded goal of the season as Kajula finishes off. A career-high 4 points on the night for Kajula, a goal and 3 assists. Jordan Schmaltz had 3 assists on the night, and you win 6-1. A convincing win in the opening game of this 2-game series with Providence. The downside on Friday night was that your senior center iceman, one of your assistant captains, Mark McMillan, was lost indefinitely after suffering a laceration to his wrist. He underwent surgery on Saturday morning. Talk about the impact of losing Mark McMillan for an unknown period of time here, Dave. Well, number one, I'm disappointed for Mark. He's prepared himself extremely well. He's off to a great start. This is going to be a bump in the road for him, but one that he'll handle well. In a lot of respects, he's fortunate. He's got an opportunity to rehab this and get back, I think, sooner rather than later. And for our team in the meantime, I think much like you saw Saturday night, everybody else has to pick up the slack. We have to pick up some of those minutes on the penalty kill, on the power play.
Face-off
certainly the face-off dot, and that's something that we have to address as we go through the week. We got to be better there.
All right, another positive. We talked about him in the highlights. Bryn Chiswick. His speed on Friday night and Saturday night was a real factor in your favor in this series.
Well, I think it's Bryn playing within himself. I think he's keeping his shifts extremely short. I think he has a ton of energy every time that he's on the ice. The things he's doing on the penalty kill, speed, tenacity. We talked about will. Those are big factors for him. The goal that he scored, simple play, but just a speed play to the outside, the assist that he had for Austin Pagansky's first, just created by great energy, taking a puck wide and doing simple things.
Let's hear from Bryn Chiswick on his weekend.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable out there. I got my legs under me early in the series and tried to use my speed to my advantage and stuff. So hopefully I can just keep gaining more confidence with the puck and keep making more plays to help the team win.
Coming up next on North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol, we'll recap Saturday night's 2-2 overtime tie.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sous Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, and in triumph of Fargo, and by Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables too.
Welcome back to the show. Dave, let's take a look at Saturday night's highlights back inside Ralph Engelstad Arena. How did you see the opening 10 to 12 minutes of the game and its importance in the rest of the evening?
Well, you knew Saturday night was going to be a great battle. We ended up with a 5-goal win on Friday night. You know Saturday's going to be a tight, tough one. We knew it would be key to get off to a good start, and I felt we did that. I liked our start.
Yeah, Johnny Simonson in front here gets a puck, trying to jam it past Gillies. You would have 4 power plays in the first period, totaling a little more than 3 minutes, so not 4 total power plays. But what did you think the chances that you created with your power plays in the opening 20 minutes?
Well, the power plays were a little discombobulated, to be honest with you. Because,
good way to put it.
There was a lot of short power plays in there. It was one of those periods where, utterly I think the players were a little bit confused as to what is a penalty, what isn't a penalty. Unfortunately, it was tough to get a whole lot of flow, even on those specialty team situations.
Right. So those power plays then leading to your opening goal. And your opening goal is going to come from just hard work below the goal line and, again, some action just to the left of Providence goaltender John Gillies.
Yeah, we actually created a loose puck off of a lost faceoff. We did a good job. We kept the puck alive. Again, Troy Stetcher pinching on the weak side. 3 guys just kind of whacking away, staying with it at net front, and Luke Johnson ends up with the goal.
Yeah, again, trying to distract John Gillies. I mean, he's got a lot of responsibility here, and you got to get him kind of twisting his head around a little bit.
Yeah, this is just good hard hockey and getting around the blue paint, and it finds a hole somewhere. I'm not sure where, but it found a hole.
Luke Johnson scores in back-to-back nights, so it's 1-0. How about your penalty kill in this game? Again, it's good. You killed off 7 of 8 Providence power plays, and Zane McIntyre was a big piece of this here.
He was. Zane did a good job. There's gonna be a save that he makes off of the back door. That's outstanding. He's strong on all the front side saves. There you see the back door play. He's square to it and makes a good glove save. Unfortunately, the one that does find its way in is a bounce off the back wall, where really none of our players could or should do anything differently.
Yeah, and we're going to see that coming up here as Providence is on a 5-on-3 power play, and here's the shot from the point right here that will end up on the back wall, and Nick Saraceno will sneak it just behind McIntyre.
Yeah, we done an excellent job killing the 5-on-3 to this point, and play right off the back wall that comes right back to their tape. Jordan Schmaltz gets a stick in. But I think the 50-50 puck probably, I'm not sure whose stick it actually ends up going off of, and finds a way in.
So it's 1-1 after 1. Second period, you regain the lead. Again, Bryn Chizik in the middle of it with a speed play through neutral ice and then attacking.
Well, and again, you saw off a face-off there. Troy Stetcher creates that loose puck at the offensive line. Bryn Chizik takes it wide, and we've got 2 guys driving the net.
So it's 2-1 at the time. Austin Pagansky, who's in the lineup on Saturday night, his first career goal.
Yeah, he did a good job. Again, just going to the right spot, and he's rewarded for that, and just taps it into the open net on the far side.
This game played itself out in a lot of areas, probably like a lot of people thought coming into the weekend in terms of pretty even play.
Even play, scoring chances were hard to come by, here it's a breakdown on our part, a bounce of the puck and a breakdown. That's where most of the scoring chances, both directions, came from on Saturday night. Both teams played very well defensively. There wasn't a lot of time and space. I thought Providence's commitment to blocking shots was at a high level. It was tough to get pucks to the net for us, but we stayed with it in a lot of cases. In those cases, John Gillies was outstanding, just as Zane McIntyre was. Without
a doubt, McIntyre outstanding as Providence was pushing back here in the second period on Saturday night. Chizik, another play here, stealing a puck at center ice and going in.
He's on the PK, just holding that blue line and creates the loose puck, and off Bryn goes.
So we go to the third period now, and each team had 11 shots on goal in the third period. What did you think of the third period overall?
It was a good period of hockey. I liked our period of hockey. I liked the way we played. We had one outstanding power play. Unfortunately, we just could not stretch it to the 2-goal lead. I thought John Gillies made 2 or 3 outstanding saves on that power play. He did a good job for his team.
Right. You mentioned their block shots. Providence blocked 26 shots on Saturday night.
Well, it means we had the puck a lot.
Yeah.
It means we shot a lot of pucks to the net, and also they did a good job. We've got to find a way maybe to get a few more through. but that wasn't the case. And right here, it's a bounce of the puck to not get it out. We'd like a little bit better. But the biggest thing that we look at here is we got weak in the middle of the rink, and that can't happen in a 6-on-5 situation. I mentioned after the game, there's a couple things we have to learn from. We got to be a little bit better on the wall, taking care of pucks, and we got to be stronger in the middle of the rink on those plays.
So Saraceno ties the game with 39 seconds left in overtime. Nick Schmaltz with a chance here, and then he also tries to play it back off Gillies.
Yeah, I don't know if many people saw that during the game, but he tried to bank that back off of his skate and just didn't quite have the angle to do it.
Yeah, heck of a play from Schmaltz at the same time. Then you would have to kill off a Providence power play in the final minute and 19 seconds here. They really tried to deliver the puck to Saraceno at the goal line to get him trying to jam it to Zane McIntyre, and he stopped every attempt.
Yeah, they do a good job getting it down to that goal line and jamming pucks across the blue paint and to the net. But Zane obviously is pretty good in that area. He stayed strong on all of them, and he had good numbers around him helping him.
Really good hockey game between two very good hockey teams on Saturday night, a 2-2 tie. We visited with Bryn Chiswick, McIntyre, and also Austin Pagansky following the game.
You know what? I liked their effort tonight. I thought we had a really good second period. The first period was obviously kind of ripped apart by penalties there, but I liked their effort in the third too. Just the game of inches at the end there. We thought we had a puck out, and next thing you know, it's in the back of our net. So they're a great team, and I liked our effort tonight. They're just two good teams and ended in a tie.
There's a lot of steps in the right direction. Obviously, there's definitely a refining to our game into certain situations, and I think it's definitely a maturation process too with our young guys and even our old veteran guys too. Just learn how to close out games, especially against really good competition like these guys.
You feeling more comfortable here as the weeks go on?
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of a learning process for me coming from juniors and being a freshman. So every day the guys are taking me under their wing and helping me with little things. So I think day by day things are getting better.
Dave, one of the questions that I'm getting a lot my way these days is your penalty kill. Why is your penalty kill so good to this point of the season?
Well, I think number one, it always starts with your goaltending. On the penalty kill, you're going to have breakdowns, and the other team is going to make good plays. Your goaltender has to be there and be your best penalty killer. I think that's been the case. But I also think the guys working in front of them have done a good job. I think the energy and the structure that we're playing with, and really what it comes down to is that utter compete and will level of your penalty killers, and they've done a good job.
Without a doubt, you have as many shorthanded goals at this point of the season as you had all last season. Coming up next, we'll preview the Air Force game coming up this Saturday, a one-game weekend for North Dakota at home here at the Ralph. That's coming up next on North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sioux Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Indian Triumph of Fargo, and by Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables too.
Welcome back to the show. Dave, one game this weekend, another non-conference game, Air Force in at the Ralph on Saturday. How will you handle this work week with one game coming up?
Well, we'll get one extra day of rest, and then we get into a regular work week. Extremely important week for us. We need a high level of focus. We only have one opportunity on the weekend to go out and play and win a hockey game. So we'll put all of our focus and emphasis on that one game.
Air Force comes into the Ralph with quite a changeover in roster. In fact, the biggest changeover Frank Serratori's ever had in his 18 years at the Academy. 12 freshmen on this hockey team.
Yeah, yet they're coming in off of a very successful weekend and playing very well early in the season for their team.
Right. How about the loss of Mark McMillan in terms of how it affects this week and in terms of filling some of those roles or some of those needs that you lose a bit with McMillan out of the lineup?
Yeah, number one, you always look at your 5-on-5 play, and we've got a centerman down, one of our guys that takes a lot of key draws. So I thought we suffered a little bit in that area on Saturday night. I think we have to do a better job. But we've got other good players that can step in up the middle. Power play and penalty kill. Mark is a heck of a penalty killer for us, and he logs a lot of minutes on that PK. So again, we need some probably one or two new bodies to step in. I think we're going to give some guys a new opportunity there to see if they can step in and do a good job and eat some of those minutes on our penalty kill.
All right, Dave, we'll look for that on Saturday night. Good luck on Saturday, and we'll recap Saturday's game with Air Force next week here on the show. We're back with some final thoughts next.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sous Shop at Ralph Ingalls Stat Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Indian Triumph of Fargo, and by Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables too.
It's the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game Saturday night here at the Ralph. North Dakota hosting Air Force. The Falcons come into the game at 2-2 in the Atlantic Hockey Association, 2-4 overall. A couple of players to watch have played here locally before. Chad Demers, the Grafton spoiler, who played his junior hockey with Fargo in the USHL, is Air Force's leading goal scorer with 3 on the season. And Cole Gunner, who also played junior hockey with the Fargo Force, is Air Force's leading scorer. Frank Serratori in his 18th season as head coach of Air Force. Saturday night's game a bit later than your regular Saturday start time. It's a 7:37 drop of the puck Saturday night. We hope you can join me, Scott Kobrinski, and Katie Hale for UND Air Force hockey coming up Saturday. And we'll see you next week on North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol.